separate team for data engineering, and there is a separate team for the reporting part. Okay. See, as part of business intelligence, umbrella term. It's a common term. It's something like I did my MTech. Right? It's a common term, right? So it's a umbrella term. And in the case of analytics space, so here you have different branches, two different important streams. One is the ETL. It is also called as data engineering. And you have something else called reporting. And reporting, you know very well, right? So you can use a lot of reporting tools. You can, Power BI is also one among them, right? A lot of reporting tools are available. Power BI is also called as the data visualization tool. So what other reporting tools are available? Like Power BI, we have Tableau and ClickSense. One second. Like Power BI, we have Tableau and ClickSense, and we have now, how many of you are? I just, so understand the trend around these skill set. Okay, so I just, sorry, business intelligence is an umbrella term. To look at the software company, most of the software company, they have a horizontal called business intelligence. Okay, so horizontal called business intelligence. It is something like, you have different verticals. You have healthcare vertical. Take, for example, Cognizant, Accenture, or Infosys, right? They have different verticals, the healthcare, and you have banking, and something finance, capital markets, okay, capital markets, banking, healthcare, and you have life sciences, pharma companies, okay, sciences and media. Likewise, various verticals. These are called verticals. Different companies, almost all the software companies, they have multiple verticals. I'm talking about the tier 1 and tier 2. So these verticals are, cutting across by the different, streams, right? Like business intelligence, and you have, web technologies. This is your web technology. This is something called technology. So healthcare also, right? Healthcare clients also, they want to develop some websites and mobile apps, and banking also, they want to develop some websites. Each industry, each verticals, right? They work, through this technology. They use different, technologies under this practice. Business intelligence is a practice, and web technology is a practice, right? So these are the terms you need to be familiar. Okay, verticals, all the verticals are cutting across this horizontals. Okay. And business intelligence, there are two streams are there. Like I said, in the business intelligence, they call it in short, BI. So business intelligence, BI stands for business. There are two tracks. One is the ETL, and the other one is the reporting part. In reporting, you have Power BI and Tableau and Power BI. Short form is PBI, and ClickView. You have something called ClickView or ClickSense, SENSE, right? ClickSense, and MicroStrategy. So in that MicroStrategy, you have SSRS and SSAS. These are the two tools are very popular. Apart from this, you have SAP Business Objects. This is another reporting tool. Next one is Looker. Looker is gaining a lot of popularity now. Okay, it is a cloud-based, business intelligence platform. So using which you can explore the data, and you can visualize the data. It offers a lot of reporting capabilities, and you can create reports and dashboards using Looker. Okay, and apart from this, we have something like Yellowfin. This is also a BI platform. It offers reporting, dashboarding capabilities. Okay, and it supports embedded analytics and collaboration features and so on. And Power BI is one among the various reporting, sorry guys, one among various reporting tools that are available in the market. Okay, Ranjan, I got it. Okay, sorry. Okay. So, and in the ETL, similarly in ETL, various tools are available. One of the popular one is Informatica and Microsoft's this one. What is that? The SSIS. Okay. So you might be asking this question, why should I know all the tools? Yes. If you wanted to be part of IT industry, you should be knowing what all the tools are available under reporting and then what tools are available in ETL, especially if you are going to be a manager or if you are going to be a consultant architect, you should be knowing all the things. Don't limit yourself with limited knowledge. Okay, try to understand as many things as well. At least understand the jargons and tools. So Looker is also gaining a lot of popularity nowadays. And likewise, right, in the ETL we have Informatica and SSIS, and we were looking for some. I mean, I forgot the tool name here. It's a very good tool. Even we were looking for four people for with the 6+ years. I forgot the tool name. Okay, SSIS and Informatica and Informatica Cloud. Cloud. This is very hot skill set. And you have Azure Data Factory, ADF, Azure Data Factory, and it's also cloud based. Okay, likewise, Lord and Ab Initio. I don't know if Ab Initio is there in the market. Okay, Ab Initio and Informatica. Likewise, lot of ETL tools are available. This is for data engineering. Okay, like I said, in the business intelligence, right, you have ETL and reporting tools are there. So for ETL, right, they call it a data engineering team. Data engineering team. Okay. And the other one is reporting team. If you say, yes, I'm part of the business intelligence practice, and again, they'll ask you which vertical you are falling in. So I'm part of the business intelligence horizontal, but falling in retail, right? You can say retail. Okay, I'm part of the retail vertical. And here we are working on the ETL tools, right? I'm using SSIS and predominantly I'm working on the Power BI tool. Okay, you can tell them. And plus you can tell them, you have a knowledge in SQL. SQL is cutting across both. Okay. SQL is overlapping these two things, ETL as well as reporting. Using SQL queries, you can perform data cleaning, everything. And also you can create reports. But these reports are not, it's not, you cannot create visually stunning, appealing reports. Okay. You can generate reports, right? It is not a GUI, right? It's not a GUI, even though you can use GI like SSMS. SSMS is a ID, Integrated Development Environment. This is the one we will be using it to write the SQL queries, and SSMS in turn query the SQL server. Okay, and whatever the queries that you write it will be sent to the SQL server. This kind of a front end. Okay, fine. Okay. If you know all the things, it will be good, but it is not that you should be. It's not mandatory that you should be aware of all these tools. Okay, but it is always good, right? So what is hot? What are the various tools are available? And if you if you upskill yourself on more than one ETL tool or reporting tool, you can become, you can say that you are a BI architect, or you can manage a team, right? So the you can say BI manager. Managers also paid very high salary, but you need to have team management skills. Plus, you should have completed PMI certification. Okay, they are now, though it is not mandatory, but nowadays, right, most of the managers have seen that they have the PMI certification with them, and there are some managers they have the Prince certification. Okay, Prince certification. This is also like project management certification. It's very difficult to crack these. Apart from this, for example, if you complete Power BI certification, BSNL PL 300, it will add more weightage to your profile. Okay, but end of the day, we don't care, whether you have completed the certification or not. Importantly, the clients, Americans, right, they look for people with good hands-on, experience. Okay, that is very much important. But still, I could see people are missing. That's okay. We'll share the videos later. Those of them could not join, right? You can they can watch my videos. Okay. So, okay, now let us narrow down to the Power BI desktop. Yesterday, right? So in the last session, we discussed about the Power BI architecture. Now let us focus on the Power BI. Okay, now let us narrow down the components that are available as part of the Power BI desktop itself. So this is the overall architecture, right? Overall architecture. Within this architecture, we have explored what are the different components are there. Now we will explore or narrow down to the Power BI desktop, and we'll take a look at what components that are available as part of the Power BI desktop. So there are three components that are available. 1 second. One is as part of Power BI desktop, you have three components. One is the Power View, and next one is the Power Query, and third one is the Power Pivot. So this is the tool, right? This is the one you are going to install it. Once you install it, you will find these three components. So one is the Power View. That is where we create the reports, everything. Okay, that is where we create reports, and we have something else called the Power Query Editor. That is where we are going to do all kind of data cleaning, everything. Okay, this is where we create the reports. Here in Power Query Editor, we do the majority of the data engineering task, which means you do ETL, right? So they call it the ETL. They do data munging. They use different terms, okay? Data munging, all the things, right? So you do the data pre-processing, everything. I always compare the Power Query with our home kitchen, right? So this is where we do all data cleaning and everything. Sorry, we in kitchen, right? We cut the vegetables, we clean the vegetables, we mix all the necessary ingredients, right? The same way here, we do data cleaning, everything in our Power Query editor. Okay, the next thing is we have the Power Pivot. So this is where we do the data modeling. This is specific to Power BI desktop. Data modeling. Importantly, when it comes to analytics, we do the dimensional data modeling. Okay, dimensional data modeling. I'll explain the difference between these two. Okay, so here they use some technique called normalization, and here they use a technique called denormalization. Okay, so this is the one predominantly we do it in the OLTP database, online transaction processing. Online transaction processing. So this is the database, but the dimensional data modeling, we do it in data warehousing. Okay, data warehousing. Now I will take you directly to the tool. Okay, and since most of you do not have laptop, don't worry. And what I will do is I will first walk you through the components in the Power BI desktop tool itself. It's 100% right, free of cost. You just go to the browser and you can type download Power BI desktop. Look here now, it is available. So in the search result, you can see the first one. Okay, and I don't know why it's coming. Okay, we have enabled. Okay, so here, so look here, they have given deep search. So GPT powered results takes 30 seconds. My God, just now I noticed this one. GPT powered. Okay, and Power BI desktop. And here, look here, install on Windows. All you need to just click on the install on Windows. Look here, that's all. Okay, and open Microsoft. So this one way of doing it. Or else, what you can do, you can go back here and you can scroll down here. You can see downloads link. Okay, you can choose the Microsoft Store to download install, and or you can choose the link here. Okay, you can see that powerbi.microsoft.com and downloads. This is where you can go and download the software. You don't have to sign up here. If you scroll down here, you will find the Microsoft Power BI desktop here, okay, on the left side. And all you need to do is just click on this advanced download options. Click on it, and then it will take you to the next page. Maximize the video. Okay, this is, and if you scroll down here, you'll find sort of the Power BI desktop dot setup.exe and Power BI desktop setup 64.exe. There are two variants of the Microsoft Power BI softwares are available. So I would suggest the use this 64-bit edition of Power BI software. Okay, and you can see here, right? So you have different things are available. You can click on the download here. So the language by default English is selected. Leave it as it is. Click on the download. And you can select the second one. So if you have the newer laptop, or probably recently, 6 back or 7 years back, you bought a laptop or 60, right? Then it must be a 64-bit. It must support the 64-bit. If you have very older laptop, let's 10 year back or 12 years back, I bought it. It is just 32-bit. Then you can select this option, download and install it. Okay. And now I just select this one, 64-bit. And I'm going to hit this button, download, and let's wait for some time. It will take for a while. Look here, Power BI desktop x64.exe. It's a exe file. It's getting downloaded. I'm going to hit the save button, and let's wait for a few seconds till this one get completed. Okay, and I can see that the progress bar here, right? So the download is being done now. Let's wait for a few more minutes. It's not a big file. It's a very small file only. It is in terms of MB only. Okay, and if you click on the exe file, it will open up the window, installation window. All you need to do is simply close your eyes, click next, next, next button. Don't do any changes to the the configurations. Okay. Yeah, it's being done, right? So the download is over. Click on it here. I'm going to go here and click on the folder, show in folder. And here I can see the Power BI desktop exe file. I'm going to double click on it. Yeah, the Kavya, yes. Like the Informatica and other things, right? Yes, AWS Glue. We have something called AWS Glue is also available. We'll discuss later, okay? So now it is, the moment when I clicked on the exe file, after a while, I could see that, it is asking me for my consent. Do you want to run this file? Yes, run. Click on run and wait for a few seconds. It will bring up the installation window. We got it. Okay, here you can see that in the select language English, don't select anything else. You just use English, and I'm going to hit the next button. Again, it will ask for my consent, whether I'm okay to go ahead with installing this one. Yes, I hit the yes there. And let's wait for some time. Yes, AWS Glue is available, Kavya, and AWS Data Pipeline is available. Amazon Redshift. How many of you heard about the Redshift, Amazon Redshift? It is a fully managed data warehouse service, okay? It allows us to run the very complex analytics queries against petabytes and above volume of data. Hence, Redshift is also a lot of gained a lot of momentum. Okay, and Amazon EMR, Elastic MapReduce, and Kinesis, Amazon. But likewise, right, a lot of tools are available even in the case of Amazon. And yeah, like you said, Azure Data Factory, Databricks available, and Azure Synapse and HD Insight, Stream Analytics, that is also available in the case of Azure Cloud. Okay, the Azure Microsoft product. Okay, Azure is Microsoft, AWS is Amazon product. So this one will take more time. So especially in my laptop, I installed a lot of softwares. Okay, hence it takes a lot of time. If you have reasonably, right, 4 GB RAM, and if you are C drive, if you have at least, right, 100 GB free space or 70 GB free space, you will not expect this kind of latency or delay. Okay, it will not take this much of time. I don't know whether, yeah, it's still preparing it to install. Yes, I could see that. Suddenly it will disappear. Don't worry, you just use Alt tab and to view that. Okay, it's going on. Now we can see that it is computing the space requirements. It goes and checks automatically if I have sufficient space available in my C drive to go ahead and install it. Okay. Once that test is done, it will enable the next button. Till then, the next button will not be enabled. So what is the point in, clicking next, and finally, right, let's once the installation gets started, and after a while, due to space issue, it may break, right? For that reason, first it checks whether I have the sufficient space in my laptop or not. If that is available, then this one will get enabled. Otherwise, it will throw an error saying that you don't have sufficient space. Please clean up the C drive. Ideally, keep your C drive free, and there, minimum 100 GB. If you keep it free, right, free space, then the performance will be pretty faster. And many of you, I have seen it, right? They are using only C drive. It is a best practice. You can have C and D drive, because if the laptop get crashed, you will not recover all the data. You're gone, right? So you need to reinstall the Windows. Even if you have D drive, you'll have to reinstall the Windows. But at least whatever the data you stored in the D drive, that will be available for your further use. Right. So once you install reinstall the Windows software, right, in case of any crash, still the data will remain intact if you have the D drive. Sorry, guys, I'm talking about very basic because I have 90% of the participants are non-IT people. That's the reason why I'm talking everything. Okay. Next weekend onwards, we will speed it up. Okay. We'll spend more time. In the meanwhile, you can watch my videos and install the softwares, whatever the softwares, right? All the videos are available in my website. Anyhow, at the end of the session, once again, I will walk you through how to access my website with your login credentials, and where you need to download the data sets, where you can, you can find the installation videos and other videos, right? I'll show you that. So migrating feature states from related applications. Since I have already installed the Power BI desktop, what it does is it will try to migrate the older version to the newer version. It is going to automatically upgrade to the latest version of the Power BI desktop. Like I said, right? So, okay. So every once in 2 months or so, right? Microsoft, they are keep releasing the new release or the version of the Power BI desktop with additional features. Okay. So here I can see that the setup wizard will install Power BI desktop on your computer, which means I have sufficient space available in my C drive. Hence, the next button got enabled. And if I hit the next button, it will take me to the next page. You need to accept the terms in the license agreement. hit the next button, and don't ever change this one. Leave it as it is. Don't touch this. And also install the SQL Server and SSMS software in the C drive itself. Don't ever, touch this one. Simply close your eyes and hit the next button. Next one is install. If you hit the install button, what will happen is you can see some progress bar. Okay, something will move from here to here. It will show the progressive installation progression status in terms of 5%, 6% completed. So likewise, right? We wait for 5 to 10 to 15 minutes max. You will find a message like installation was successful. That's all. Okay, you need to click on the cross here after seeing the message, right? Installation was successful, and wait for a few seconds and then click on the cross. Got it? I'm not going to hit the install button because already I have installed it. And if I install it, right, it will take some time unnecessarily. In the interest of time, I'm not going to hit the install button. If I do it, it will override the existing one. Since I'm going to click on the cross, right? Let's say, if you, in your case, if you can also enable this and create a desktop. Yes, you are correct, Kavya. So you can enable this one so that, your shortcut will get created in your desktop, so that you don't have to go to the start menu and you don't have to check that there. Okay. So you can click on the shortcut which get created. With that, you can launch the Power BI desktop. Okay. So I'm not going to click on install. Okay. I'm going to click on cross. If you guys encounter any issues in terms of installation, you can let me know during my lunchtime. Weekdays, between 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. I'll be available. Lunchtime, right? I can give some excuses. Okay. And but it's pretty simple, guys. Okay, you don't have to, but you need to watch my video. Okay, and it's very simple. That's all. Okay, I'm going to cancel this in my case because I'm not going to install it. And finally, right, in your case, the installation was successful. You'll find the message. Until then, you have to wait and hit the finish button once that has been done successfully. Okay, we are done with the Power BI desktop. Okay, SQL Server and SSIS probably will discuss later. Now what I will do is I'll press the window key in my keyboard. Okay, now and then what I do is I'm going to type Power BI, Power Space BI, Space Desktop. When I type the Power BI desktop, you can see the icon here. Can you all see it? You can see the icon here, right? So you can click on the right side also, you can see the open here. Either you can click on it or click on the open. It will take some time to launch the Power BI desktop. You need to wait for some time. Initially, it will take time. Okay. So in my laptop, I have close to 16 GB RAM, but still, it takes time. Reasonably, though, Microsoft says, right, if you have, as per the Microsoft, right, the prerequisites to installing the Power BI desktop is if you have Windows Server, ideally, right, the Windows 10 operating system, and if you have 1 GB CPU, right, 1 GB CPU, and memory, if you have 1 GB or 2 GB RAM, 64-bit, you need to have 2 GB RAM. Displays minimum 3 GB. That's all. Okay. And .NET framework is required. And display 1024x768 resolution. And obviously, you need to have the internet connection to do the installation. Okay. But though they say 2 GB is enough, but even with to 8 GB or 8 GB or 12 GB, it is it is bit slow. Okay. So once this one get launched, the Power BI desktop, you will find this welcome screen. The green color is the welcome screen. And I'm not going to, do anything. So in here you can find getting started with Power BI desktop. Video is there, and the building report, click view, query view concepts, all the things we can do it. And tutorials are also available. But I'm not going to, use anything here. I simply click on the cross here. Now the welcome screen disappeared. Now we are in the Power BI desktop. So what you see here is the report screen. The moment you launch the Power BI desktop, what you see, this is what this area, white color thing, right? This is what your Power BI Power View, okay, or the report canvas. We call that as a report canvas. This is where we create the reports. For example, on the right side, you have the visualizations, all the visual, whatever the visuals that are required, you can click on it, it will get dragged here. And then you can start create your report, okay? This is what is this component is called? This is called your report canvas. Report canvas, CANVAS, or report view. This is one component. The another component is the Power Query editor. And the third component is Power Pivot. So what you are seeing here, right? The white background, that is what your report canvas, or some people they call it as a report view. And Power Query editor, I'll show you. And Power Pivot, this is where the data modeling, design, everything. Okay, dimensional modeling or data modeling, everything we do it here. Okay, we do it here. And this is where we do the data cleaning. Okay, the ETL, extract the data, transform the data. Or majority of the T, transformation related task, we do it as part of the Power Query editor. The Power Query editor, you need to launch the Power Query editor. Currently, we are in home ribbon. So these are menus, okay? Home, reinsert, modeling, view, optimize, help, external tools, and a file also. And instead of saying menu, right, in Power BI, they call it as a ribbon. Okay, here, currently we are in the home ribbon. This is the default ribbon. On the, if you see here, right, you can see the transform data. Click on it. You just click on the this drop down. You'll find the transform data here, right? The first one is transform data. If you hover the cursor, which means if you keep the cursor on top of this, you can see the help, right? Use the Power Grid to connect, prepare, and transform data, right? So you can see here. That's kind of a tool tip. The rectangle, right? Can find the on the left side, you can see use the Power Core editor to connect, prepare, and transform data. Okay. Now I just click on the transform data. It will take me to the Power Query editor. The Power Query editor is not available as part of the Power BI desktop itself, but still it is part of the Power BI desktop. This is the second component. What you are seeing is the Power Query editor. Currently, can you see it on the top? We can see this one, Power Query editor. But here, once you launch the Power Query editor, you can see the home ribbon and you can select the transform. This is where you can see a lot of features are available. With that, you can reshape your data and you can do pivoting, unpivoting, reverse rows, transpose, everything can do it. Apart from this, you can do data imputation using the fill option. And like as you know, a lot of various other features are available, which we'll discuss it as we move further. Okay. For the time being, I'm going to click on this minimize button here. Fine. So we have seen what is Power Query editor, right? And the next one is the Power Pivot. So this is what is called a Power Pivot. Okay. And if you click on this, it will take you here. And what you see here, right? So can you see something like this? So, once you load the tables, you will find the tables are interlinked with some lines like this, right? So these are called relationship. This is where we create the relationship between the tables, everything. Okay, we don't have to create explicitly the relationship amongst the tables or the between the tables. Power BI automatically deducts the relationship between the tables, but there is a caveat here. Still, it is good if you go and validate the relationship created by the Power BI desktop tool, right? So, and you can probably drop the relationship between the tables and recreate the relationship between them. Supposing for these two tables, you want to create more than one relationship, you can go ahead and do it. Okay, you can go and add additional relationship, or if you wanted to drop the relationship, you can. Sometimes, due to the naming convention issues, right, it will create the wrong relationship between the tables. You can drop the relationship, or you can add additional relationship. You can create the new relationship between the tables. All the things you can do it. Okay, so we have seen so far, these three things, right? The Power Report Canvas and Power Query Editor and Power Pivot. And here, right, this is the icon, you need to click on it. It is also called as a model view, like a report view, right? So you have the model view. The first icon is your report view. Currently, we are in the Power Pivot. It is also called as a model view. This is where we do the data model design, everything. And if I wanted to switch to my report canvas, you can click on this icon. And if you want to switch to data view, you can. Data view is just a feature. Okay, that's the feature that is available here to view the data in your table. And this is not a component. Okay, so this is your report view is one of the component, and the second one is maybe right. This is called your Power Pivot or model view. And third one is the transform data. If you click on this, it will take you to your Power Query editor. Okay. These are the three components you need to remember. These are the fundamental things you should be aware of it before we get started with the Power BI desktop. Okay, very good. Now you have understood the three components. What is the next thing we are going to do? So I'm going to click on the get data here, the drop down. You can see a lot of connectors here. So Excel, if you want to load an Excel data, you can click on this. Right, and if you want to load the text file or CSV files, what is CSV file? Comma separated value file, right? So for for different types of files, they have given different connectors. If you want to connect to the SQL server, you need to click on this. If you want to connect to the database, you need to click on this. And if you want to click on, if you want to create a data flow, you can use this one. Likewise, different connector, even blank query is also available. If you want to create a custom function, you can click on the blank query. And template apps also available. And if you hit this more here, you can see besides these connectors, you can see a lot of various other connectors are available. You need to have patience until it shows all the other different connectors. Okay. Now nothing is happening, but don't rush. Okay, wait for a few more seconds. Look here. Now we can see everything here. So you can see that Access database. So it's a very old one, right? So Access database, SharePoint folder, Microsoft SharePoint folder, and PDF file. You can upload PDF files and Parquet. Yes, Parquet is Hadoop file. Okay, Hadoop related file, and SQL, SSAS, DB2, Netezza, IBM Netezza. Okay, and likewise, you can see Impala. Impala is NoSQL. Vertica is HP's product, right? HP, they have that Vertica database, and a lot of other databases are available here. I'm not sure if there is one has access to the vector database. So vector database, how many of you are familiar with vector database? Vector databases are gaining a lot of momentum. Okay, even in the case of the GenAI, generative AI, most of the applications it is using vector database only because the performance is super fast. Which one? The vector databases. So what are the vector databases are available? Anybody has any idea? What vector database? Let me just check here. VV8. We have something called VV8. No, it is not. And we have right. So we have something else called Chroma. Okay, Chroma and VV8 and this Facebook, FAISS. Okay, and these are the different vector database are available. And but here I don't see the vector databases are available. Okay, and yeah, vector database I don't think so. You can connect it because of late we immerse ourselves into the LangChain Llama 2, the advanced concepts of GenAI aspect of artificial intelligence. So they are using the vector databases. You can use you can store petabytes and above volume of data. It is highly scalable. And even, these databases, majority of them are good. HD Insight, like I said, HD Insight is there. Azure Data Lake is there. And likewise, different things are available. Vector database, unfortunately, it is not there. When MicroStrategy for Power BI, right? So that is also available here, and Plan View is available. Likewise, different connectors available. Okay, to start with that, I'm going to click on the file here. And here I'm going to, load a CSV file. So hence I'm going to click on this connector. I just click on it once and wait for some time. I just double click on it. Okay. And here I'm going to use a file called sales W04. Or else simply I just go here, click on it here. I know very well in this one, in this folder, I have the sales W4 CSV file is available. I just type it. Instead of searching it, right, you can see that it is displaying it, or simply I'm going to hit open. I just write what is CSV file? CSV stands for comma separated value files, comma separate value files. Okay. So this is the one still I could see even these days, most of the enterprises, they use the comma separated values file. Okay. In this file, if you open the file, right? So for example, here, in my case, I have opened the Sage W04.csv. If you open it from your Windows, right, operating system, you can see each columns are separated by comma. So, okay, Ranjan asked a question. Sorry, I just now saw. Get data means who will add those files or those are empty files. Get data means who will add those files or those are empty files. So here, it's not that we are going to add an empty file. Why you need to add an empty file, right? So it means get data means we are going to load the data files. Okay, that is the option here. Okay, who will add those files? It is we are the one going to add the files. As a developer, we are the one going to add the data file there. Okay. See, to create a report, obviously we need to have the data. We need to load the data into a Power BI desktop, right? For that purpose, we are going to click on the get data. Sorry, I just saw your message. Okay, and look here, I just selected the sales w04.csv and I hit the OK, and I just selected this file and hit the open button. Now, what happened is we can see that the content of this file, CSV file, right? We have different columns. What columns are the row.id? This is called, what you are seeing currently is the preview window. It's something like before we launch a movie, they do some preview, right? So they do preview. There are some preview theaters are available, right? Even Chennai, a couple of preview theaters are there. So what they do is before launching the movie to the public, the preview theater, they launch it, they call, some people, right? Public and other people, randomly, they call different people, and then they'll get their feedback. Similarly, it's kind of a preview window. Here, before loading the entire data from this file, it gives us the gist of what this file contains in it. What columns are there? You have row.id, order ID. So you can see that, okay, all the columns, you can see that. You can gain a quick, you can get a quick glance. You can take a glance at it, right? So whether all the required columns are available in the data set. Are there any issues with the data set? We can see, yes, let's say, I need all the columns. Okay, all the columns have data in it, but the postal code, I can see a lot of NES. NES means not available, missing values are there. Okay, and I just scroll towards the right side. I can see that in the sales column, there is something wrong here. So along with the numeric value, it's a decimal value, right? So here I can see that the decimal value prefixed with dollar. You take any programming language in the software, right? If the numeric value is mixed with the dollar or something, it will become automatically text. The entire sales column will get assigned with the text data type. If the column becomes a text data type, can you do arithmetic operation? You cannot do that. So now we notice that there is some problem here. And also we can see that there are missing values are there. And quantity column seems to be good, discount, everything is okay. Yes, you need to do some kind of data cleaning here, right? So you need to remove the dollar and you need to convert that column as a decimal data type, okay? And then I can see, I think so, even though the postal code column have a lot of missing values, this is not a business column. I'm not going to do anything with that to create this report. Hence, I don't worry about that. The rest of the column seems to be okay. except the sales column. Okay, what I do is I'm going to hit the load button. We have other two buttons are available. If you hit the cancel button, the data will not get loaded. Guys, remember this, what we are seeing currently is a preview window. It is not showing the entire data. It shows only the sample of my or the subset of my sales w04.csv data. It is showing only the subset of the data, small portion of the data, not the entire files data. Is it clear? Next one is the transform data. So if you click cancel here, don't load it. You just cancel, don't load it. Okay, click on cancel. And transform data, if you hit this one, it will take you to the Power Query Editor directly. So now what I do is I am going to hit the load button. When I hit the load button, what will happen is the entire file's data gets loaded. What you are seeing is just the subset of the data. But when I hit the load button, entire data of that file will get loaded into my Power BI desktop. Let's wait for a few seconds till it's get loaded, right? Let's wait for some time. Because I have opened this Power Query Editor, right? I can see that message. What I will do is I'll just close that one. Let it be there. So it is not mandatory that you need to keep your Power Query Editor open, right? So better you can close it. Whenever you require it, you can open it. For you people to understand the different components, I have launched that Power Query Editor. It is not that while loading the data, you have to keep the Power Query Editor also open, okay? So fine, now the data got loaded. So how do I make sure that the data got loaded? Look here on the right side corner, top corner, you can find the data pane. Just beneath that, you can see the sales W04. This is the CSV file or the flat file. It is also called as a flat file, FLAT, flat file, CSV file, okay? And this file got loaded here. But when you see next to that file, the sales w04.csv file, you can see the table icon. What does that mean? What does that mean? Irrespective of the type of the file that you load it into your Power BI desktop, it will consider everything as a table. It's something like irrespective of the country or irrespective of the language you speak, we are all Indians, right? Our citizenship is India. See, in India, we have different cultures and we speak different languages. Irrespective of the languages, irrespective of the different languages, cultures, or religions, you will be called as a Indian citizen. Similarly, right, you load what type of file, I will consider them as a table, right? That is what the Power BI desktop does. Fine. That's why the table icon, you can find it here. And okay, with this, we can make sure that the CSV file got loaded here. It is got considered as a table as part of Power BI desktop. This icon, right, this arrow, right? So you can see that here. When you click on this, it will get expanded. Okay. You can see that all the columns belong to this file. You can see category column, city column. With this, you can make sure that all the columns that you have seen it in your flat file are available. I'll just go to the here. So in my D drive, I have a folder called that one. This is where I kept the file. Okay, sales underscore w04.cc. Or else what I'll do is better. I have a lot of files. It will cause confusion. Okay, notepad. Okay, here you can see that open. Notepad I opened. I just click on open here. And here I'm going to type again the sales underscore w04.csv file. I'm going to move this on. I'm going to hit open. Okay, here all files. Sorry, it is in desktop folder. It is in dat one, right? So it is available in my dat folder. Go to the respective folder dat one. In this folder, you have the sales underscore w04.csv file. I am going to select this one. I'm sorry, I'm going to select this one. I'm going to hit open. From the operating system, using my notepad, I have opened this file, sales underscore w04.cc. It will take longer time because it has got 25,000 records. Okay, these are the data that are available here, right? So all these things are the column name up to this, right? 1 second. Up to this, these are all the column name. So 32298, this value belong to row.id column, and order ID, right? CA2012124891, right? So this one is your order ID. Next one is the order date. So you can see that each and every column is separated by comma. Hence, it is called comma separated values. Each and every column and its associated values are separated by comma, so that you can identify which columns data lies where, okay, and where the next column starts, everything will. For example, after the comma, the new column starts here. After the comma, the another new column starts here. After the comma, or similarly, right? This one belongs to row.id. This one belongs to order ID. After the comma, you can see the order date likewise, right? This is the file given by my manager. Let us think that way. We have loaded this file into Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop consider this as a table, and we could see all these columns on the right side, right? You can see here. Okay, seeing the column alone not sufficient. You need to see the data. Where can I see the data? For that, you need to click on the data view. Can you see that this icon, right? So this is where I'm going to click on it. It will open up the data view. This is where you can see all the columns and the data. Okay. Okay, so you can download it, right? So if I send it, right, it will take time. So hence, in the interest of time, you can see it here. Okay, I'll just explain you how to load the data, everything. Okay. So look here, see, oddly, we have 2 days per week, right? So in the interest of time, what you do is you can go ahead and download it from the website, because we have many people. If I send it to each and every person, it will take longer time. Right, I'll just walk you through that. Okay, once again, right, where you need to go ahead and download. So this is the column, right? All the columns and the data, you can see it. It will take some time to populate it here. And if you scroll towards this, toward the right side, you can see all the other columns. So you can see the scroll bar here. Okay, this is what keep the cursor on top of this. Just drag towards your left side and right side. You can see all the thing here. Whatever the thing that you have seen it in the preview window, you can see it here. But here, this one has got loaded with the entire data. Preview, we could see only, right, maybe, right, 25 to 30 records, but here we can see how many records. Look at the left hand side bottom corner, right? So 25,004 rows are there. This table has 25,000 rows in it. Entire 25,000 rows got loaded here. And if you guys are, how many of you are familiar with the Notepad++? How many of you used Notepad++? I just go here. Instead of using Notepad, if you guys use, if you are not familiar with Notepad++, it is open source. Go ahead and download it, because you all decided to get into the software industry. Start use this thing. Okay, the Notepad++. It's very much helpful. With this, it's kind of a Notepad, advanced version of Notepad. And here, look here, I just go here. And then look here okay, or else I'll just open it here itself. File and open. And again, I just go to the D drive. In my D drive, I have a folder called dat1. And what I'll do is I'll just move this up here. And here I just select all files here, all types. I just select all types. Yeah, that was the default one, sales underscore w04 dot CSV file. I just select it here, and I'm going to hit open. Look here. And here you can see the line number also, right? You can see 1, 2, 3 and all, right? If you hold the control key and press N, here also you can see 25,005 records are there, but you need to subtract one. Why? The first row has the column names, hence column header. You can subtract this one. You end up with getting 25,004 records. Yes, I can see that 25,004 records got loaded here successfully. Okay. Fine. How many number of columns are there? So that if you scroll towards the right side, you can find it, right? So you can see you need to go here and check it here. And also when you open the Power query editor, you will get to know how many number of columns are there quickly. Look here. So these are the number of columns are there. 25,000 rows are there. Fine. And if I select any specific column, for example, the subcategory or the product name, if I select it, it shows how many unique products are there. So how many number of records are there in total? 25,000 rows. How many unique values are there in the product name? 2,973. It doesn't mean if I have 25,000 rows, I need to have 25,000 products, right? We are selling, let's say if you sell just 10 products, 25,000 invoices you raised for the 10 products. So in that case, it will show only the 10 products, right? How many products you sell it in total. With that, you are able to understand. This is what you do it as part of exploration. Okay, how many number of products are there? How many categories are there? Even if you click on the category column, you can see the 18 distinct subcategories are there. If you click on the category, 4 distinct categories, right? And if you click on the 3 dots next to the columns, you can see all the things. Okay, you can see the furniture, office supplies, technology. Actually, this customer, they are selling their products under these 3 categories only, but we have somewhere blank values are there. Okay, so this is one issue here. Now we have noticed it. But when you click on the category column, at the bottom, you can see 4 distinct values. With this itself, we are able to make out there are some issues here, right? Let's say you are working in this company for a longer time. For the last 6 years, you have been working with this company. You know very well the category, you are selling all the products under the 3 categories only, but here it shows 4. Right. So this one also gives additional insight about the quality of your data. Do I have any blank values? Yes. In the category column, you have blank value. That means, right? So, those records, you have blank values. You don't have any clue which category that product belongs to. Right. So how do I check, what, how many number of records got, linked with that blank values? Again, you just click on the 3 dots and you click on you just uncheck it. Okay. And select only this one. This is the one blank, right? You just click on OK. Now you can see that 2 filter. How many rows got filtered now? 2 rows, the blank values, right? Only 2 rows you have blank records. Okay. This is how you need to explore it. Okay. This is what I advise everyone. As soon as they give the report file or the data file, don't jump in creating the report. Okay. Just explore. Do you have any blank? Look here. If you scroll toward the left side and right side, you can see that a lot of, the entire row has blank values in it. So why do I need to have the blank rows? This needs some kind of treatment. I need to remove the blank rows. Fine. We could see that there are some data related issues are there. This is one of the blank records, is one of the reasons. And if I scroll towards, let's you have so many columns, you applied the filter. How do I find out which column I applied the filter? You forgot it. If you see the column here next to that, you can see this icon filter. Okay, I just click on this. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to select all. I'm going to click on select all more than one time. All the values got selected. I'm going to hit OK now. Most of the developers, they do this mistake after they apply the filter. For example, they view how many number of transactions are made in Office Supply. They select just like in Excel how you do, right? The same way you do it here also. I click on it. Office Supplies, I could see that 9,882 transactions we made. Right. So, and then what they do is they click on the, sorry, I missed it. Okay. And then what they do is they click on this report view and they go here and they start do the report creation, everything. Don't do that mistake. Once you apply the filter on any specific column, make sure that you are going to clear it. Clear filter. So this happened one major escalation in one of the projects, right? So we have, one specific developer. He created everything, report everything. He did the testing, everything fine. He fixed it, all the bugs. And after he fixing all the bugs, he forgot to, for the testing purpose, he applied filters. Okay. What do you mean by filters? You select any specific category and check how many things are there, right? So that is his filter. or you can select more than one also, this one and this one. This one I don't want to select because for my testing, right, I want to see how many number of records are then these two categories. I did this, and finally I forgot to clear this one. You need to clear the filter, right? So once you clear where the clearing filter, here you can see the clear filter, you need to clear it, okay? Before you tell your manager that you have completed your task, make sure that you are clearing the filters, okay? And what happened in this case, right? You applied the filter for only one category. So in that specific project, we have almost 12 categories. One specific category only, you just unchecked it. Rest of them it shows. But when we look at the report, everything, the testing team, everything was correct. The logic, whatever is, everything was correct. But ultimately, the total sales value, the revenue was not matching. Okay. And finally, we figured out, right? So when we just took a cursory look at each and every column, we could see that the filter icon was there. Hey, this guy applied the filter for the testing purpose. He did not remove it. Okay, fine. So now we have understood how to check whether the table got loaded. You can find it in the report canvas itself on the extreme right side. Under the data pane, you can find the file, right? Once that gets loaded successfully, you can see this one. And when you expand this one by clicking on this icon, you can see all the columns. And when you go to the data view, you can see the data here. And you can find out the total number of records that belongs to this file and how many distinct values are in the specific column. You can find it. For categorical column only, you can find the distinct values. If you select the quantity, it's a numeric column. Even in the case of numeric column, it gives me the distinct values, right? How many distinct values are there? Shipping cost is a numeric column. And look here, if I click on quantity, just above this, we can see the name of the column and the data type of this column, whole number. Okay, apart from this, you have format, other things are available. And you can notice something else called summarization, the sigma notation. How many of you remember sigma notation? It's summarization, right? For I equal to 1 to n xi. So that xi is nothing but 1 to n, right? So I equal to 1 to 10, x1, x2, x3 up to x10, right? That is what summarization, okay? Sum of all the 10 values in that example, okay? So here, this sigma notation represents sum. By default, Power BI desktop, it applies the sum function on the numeric columns. Okay, when you drag and drop the numeric columns into a visual, like a table or column chart, bar chart, by default, it applies sum on the quantity column or the numeric columns. Okay. So you can notice the three things, right? The column name, you can see it here, data type. You just above this, the moment you select the specific column, you can see this, and also format, you can see it here. Okay. And summarization, this is a data category, uncategorized, not a categorical column. Very good. Okay, fine. And similarly, when I click on the product name, you can see that it's a text data type, and product name, we can see that. And then the sales column, if I select it, we can see that it's a text data type, unfortunately, right? It's supposed to be a numeric data type. It's a decimal data type, okay? But unfortunately, it assigned the text data type by Power BI Desktop. See, the moment you load the data into your Power BI Desktop, what it does is, it assigns the data type automatically to all the columns. It automatically detects, what values are there in each column, and based on the values it finds in the various columns, it assigns the data type automatically. But the challenge here is, if you have the mix of text dollar, which means in our case we have dollar, right? Dollar mixed with the numeric values, it is called alphanumeric value, right? Hence, it assigns the text data type. Okay, it requires some kind of intervention. We need to convert this as a decimal data type. If you click on the drop down here, you can see different data, whole number, decimal number, fixed decimal number, date, time, text, likewise different data types. But unfortunately, in our case, it assigned the text data. The reason we understood, look here, if you click on the three dot also, it will show the values, right? That belongs to this column here. You can make out quickly, hey, this is where, and here also we have blank value. And here we can see the 2309 got prefixed with dollar. Hence, even if you have a single alphanumeric value or text value, in your numeric column, it will consider everything as a text data type. This is applicable to all the programming language. It's not specific to Power. You take Java or anything, okay? If you insert one text value in a numeric column, the text is the highest precedence. It assigns the entire column data type as a text data. That is what has happened. We understood the reason. Fortunately, we could see that the first value itself, right? We can see that issue, right? Alpha numeric value, alphabetic and numeric value. Otherwise, what will happen? You need to scroll down, and you need to check. It takes a lot of time, right? So with this itself, we are able to understand. Okay, you can check the data type. You can check the data here also. And if you go to the canvas report, report canvas here. Here also you can find out the data type, right? So if you click on the specific column, customer name, you can see the same thing. Customer name is a text data type. Format is text, right? It's not, don't summarize, because text data type, there is no point in summarizing it, right? And if you click on the discount, you can see that discount is a decimal number, all the things we can see that. The data category and the format is auto, fine. But if you notice here, right, next to the discount, you can see the sigma notation. Wherever you find the sigma notation, you can easily, with that, you can easily make up, hey, these are all the numeric or quantitative column, right? So row ID is also a numeric column. But next to the sales, we don't see the sigma notation because Power BI assigned the text data type to it. What does it sigma represents? That refers to aggregation, summarization. That means, right? For example, I just show you one example. I just click on this is called table visual, guys. I just click on it. The moment when you click on it, you get dropped on your left-hand side. You just move this and resize it based on your requirement. Okay, you don't have to make it big. Okay, and here I just drop the category column. And then what I do is I just select the quantity column. I just drag this and drop it inside this. And then I'm going to drag and drop profit here. So, okay, I just click on the format your visual. And here I'm going to type font. And I'm going to increase the font size so that you can see it very clearly. Okay, fine. I just go back to this one and you can see that here. This is called your table visual. All I did was just drag and drop. It's pretty simple, isn't it? It gives me the total automatically in the case of table visual. So how many total, what is the total number of quantities across these three categories? And all the three categories, what is the total profit? We can see it here. Here, I just dropped the quantity column. Look here from the right side and also the profit, I dragged and dropped it. Just before these two columns, you can see sum of quantity, sum of product. Did I do any summarization? Nothing, right? Look here, for this table, right, there is a field called columns. The moment you drag and drop the columns, this one will get filled up with all the columns that you used it in this table visual. And if you keep the cursor somewhere here, right, the drop down, if you click on it, you can see that sum here. By default, the sum function got applied on the quantity column. I did not write any program to do the total or do the total on the quantity column, compute the total in profit. I did not do that, right? This is the default behavior. That is the reason why we can see the sigma notation just before the numeric columns. That means it uses an aggregation function called sum. If you drag and drop any numeric column into a visual, it will show the sum of total values, right? It gives me the total units we sold in furniture. It gives me the breakdown of total profit and total units we sold by category. Got it? If you want to convert a different visual, yes, you can select this visual. For example, I want to see it something like this, right? You can see it like this. And if you click on the donut chart, it will become down. It's pretty simple, isn't it? This one is very, very simple. Okay, so now you understood the meaning for the sigma notation. By default, it applies the sum function on the numeric column. The moment when you drag and drop it the numeric columns into a visual, it will apply the aggregation function called sum. Okay, fine. So now we understood the nitty-gritties of of how to interpret the loaded files, right? All the things in the columns, everything, right? From the data point of view, right? So we have noticed that there is a issue with the sales column and how to find out the data types for each columns, right? Everything we have seen it. And here, right, you might be asking this question, okay, here the sales column is a text data type. Can I change it to the numerical data type? You can click on it here. You can change it here itself. You can click on the decimal number, because if you look at the value here, right, you can see the 190, it is a decimal followed by the decimal. You can see the dot here followed by the dot. You will see the montieth, right? This is called digit and montieth, right? So this is a decimal value. You can click on the decimal number. You can convert it here itself, but don't do it here. In your data view, don't do it. If you do it, you cannot revoke it. For example, if you wanted to undo, you cannot undo that. Hence, it is always good you do the data transformation in the Power Query editor itself, so that if you think you made a mistake or you want to revoke it, or if while assigning the decimal number data type, it led to some kind of error, right? So in that case, how do I fix it, right? So that if you want to undo it to get the original format of the data, you cannot get it. Okay, hence you don't do it. It is not recommended. Okay, the next question is, we have loaded the data file, the CSV file, comma separated value file into my Power BI desktop. And we have seen where to explore the data, everything. And I'm going to the model view. This is how your table appears here. Okay, this is how your table appears here. And I'm going to go to the Power View. Fine. Now the interview question is, okay, I'm going to click on the file menu. I'm going to click on save here. Okay, when I click on save, it will ask the file name here, the report file name. Here I'm going to say, right, so day one, load CSV file. When I press enter, it will, in your case, right, first time you are saving it, will get saved. So the file name, you can find it here, right? So load day one, load CSV, you can find the file name here, right? What is the extension of the report file? This is an interview question. .pbax. The report file name extension is .pbax. Behind the scene, it will put the extension as .pbax. Your file name, the report file name is day one underscore load underscore CSV .pbax. So this is the extension will get added to your Power BI report file. If they ask you what is the extension of your Power BI report file, you can tell them PBA. This is a screening question to understand whether you have really worked on the Power BI test. It's a fundamental thing. If you say I don't know, then they will, definitely they'll think, your profile is fake. Okay, it's not genuine. Okay, so the PBI is the extension for this report file name. Okay, the default extension name. Okay, and the next interview question is, once you load the data file into your Power BI desktop, where this data will get, where this data will be available. This data will get available as part of your Power BI desktop itself. What do you mean by Power BI desktop itself? This data is available. For example, look here. So now what I do is I go to the Power Query editor, click on the transform data. Here what I do is I just select the transform ribbon. Okay, and here here also you can see the same, it's like your data view only, and you can use the scroll bar to scroll the various other columns, right? You can scroll toward the right side and left side, and you can see next to each column the icon, something like ABC 1, 2, 3, and yeah. So these are things that you can see it. And if I scroll toward the right side and if I go to the profit column, I can see 1.2. What are these icons? Is nothing but the moment when you look at the column name profit, discount, or shopping cost, right? Along with that, you can find the data type. That what data type it got assigned. 1.2 is nothing but decimal data type. Don't think 1.2 is the value loaded in this column. No, no, no. 1.2 represents shipping cost is a decimal number data type. An order priority is a text data type. ABC is a text data type. And if you see 1, 2, 3, which means that column got assigned with integer data type or whole number. Got it? Fine. So this is how you can find out data type. But you might be asking the question in the data view or report canvas itself, I can find the data type for each column. Then why this is an additional feature they gave it to you. Okay, it gives you at a glance, right? What data type assigned to which column. You can understand it quickly. You don't have to click and look at the top. Oh, this is this data, right? Here itself with the icon you can make out. That's the whole idea of this one. Okay. For example, here I'm going to right click on it. You can see a lot of options, right? If I want to delete this column, see now what I do is I looked at all the columns. I could see that row.id is nowhere helpful in my report. I just keep the cursor on top of this column, right click on it. I'm going to click on remove. This column is no longer record. I just removed it. Okay. On the right side, you can see something called applied steps. Here, what happens is whatever I did, right? I removed the columns. That one, that step, it is called step. Whatever the action that I can, that is called step. That got recorded here. It's something like a CCTV in our apartment, right? Same way, whatever the actions you do it here, it will get recorded here under the applied steps. Why it recorded here? So you need to understand, after, for in which step I did what, in which step I did what, right? To understand that, this is very much. For example, I just go towards the right side. I can see that here. Yeah, we were having an issue with the sales column, isn't it? In the sales column, you can see that, thank God, in the first record itself, we can make out, this is the value cost, the sales column to get assigned with the text data type. So what I do is, I can go ahead and click on it here. You can see all the data type here. I can I can assign the data type as a, sorry, not the whole number. Wait. I just undo that. And what I do is I click on it. It's a decimal number, right? If I click on the decimal number, what happens is it gives an error here. Okay, but the sales column got converted as 1.2. With that, we can understand this column got assigned with a decimal number data type. Fine. But while converting this sales column from text to decimal data type, it failed to convert this value properly, right? Hence it threw an error because it has a text along with the dollar is a kind of a text, right? Text value along with the numeric value. Hence it failed to convert this as a the value, right? Decimal value. Instead, hence it failed to convert this. Hence it mentioned that it is as an error, right? It has thrown error. Here also we can see error. So what I do is I realize now, hey man, at least I want to get back to the previous state. I want to undo that in Notepad and Word document on PowerPoint, right? If you type something, let's say you have some letters, or let's say somebody typed in the, let's say somebody shared the file and you wanted to make some changes to somewhere. And then later on you realize, no, man, I wanted to undo that. See, for example, here, somebody has given me something like wireless headset. Okay, what I did, I just put it here. So this is the data given to someone. When I open the file, I can see this one also. Okay, what I do is I will just go and delete this. And then later sometime, someone says, hey man, why you deleted it? You press Ctrl Z to undo the changes you made. What change you made it? You deleted this one, right? That is the change you made it. When you press Ctrl Z, you get back the previous value. So similarly, right, here, the Control Z doesn't work. If you want to undo the task, right, undo the step, right, you want to get back to the previous state. If you want to do that, you cannot, do that now. So what you do is change the type 1, right? And next to that, you can see the cross icon. If you click on this, it will take you back to the previous step. It's something like time traveler. you want to go back to the previous day, right? Time travel. It went back to the previous day. Good. You can undo the steps. If you have done some mistake, later point time, you realized, hey man, I shouldn't have done this. Is it possible to undo that? Yes. In Power Query, you can undo that because under the applied steps, it captures what are the steps that you carry out, or the steps are nothing but the actions. Okay, now what I do is, I cannot directly convert this as a decimal number or neither number data type, because this one, when it tries to convert a number data, it throws an error, right? Because it's not a pure number. So what I do is, I just keep the cursor somewhere on the right side of the sales column here, right click on it. And if I scroll down and see here, this is what you see here is called context menu. Context menu, okay? And click on the replace values. Here what I do is something like, the replace. Even in Notepad it is all right. I just type dollar, replace with nothing. If I hit OK, see, in the case of text data type, if you say nothing, that means empty string, okay? If I put OK, what will happen? The dollar will be replaced by empty string. Smartly, we have removed the dollar. Now, if I scroll here, NA is there. NA means not available. Even here, when I converted it upfront as a decimal, it was throwing error. So again, I go back here, replace values, replace all the NA by, NA is nothing but, the missing values with 0. 0 is a kind of numeric value, right? Very good. So we can see that. And again, if you click on the drop down here next to this column, you can see, you can look at, you can take a cursory look at, okay, so almost all the values seems to be good, except I have blank values, let it be there, fine. Now, still it remains a text data type. I did some kind of cleaning. What kind of cleaning? I just replaced the dollar by some blank value, and then I replace the NA by 0. Now, if I click on this one, and if I select the decimal number, it will get converted successfully as a decimal number data type. What do you mean by successfully got converted? So we don't see any error, right? And you can see here itself, the statistics, valid 99%, empty is 1% is there, blank value, blank records, error is 0, very good. So now whatever the steps that we carried, everything got registered here or recorded here, right? Under the applied step. Look here, change type. I changed it to number. Sales column, I changed it to number type. So all we did here was just point and click and do something, right? Right click on it, replace values. That's all. But what happens for each step we carried out, behind the scene, the Power Query editor will write some script. Let's say, let's say somebody is talking in, let's say you speak in Telugu, right? So what I do is, I want to understand, in my own language. Okay, let's say I don't know Hindi. Just for example, right? I know Hindi. What I do is, I translate the Telugu language, Hindi language, so that I can understand better. Something like this, right? This is how Power Query Editor can understand your instruction. According to your point and click on the replace values, or sorry, replace this data type, right? Change it to decimal number. Behind the scene, whatever steps that we carry out for the Power BI Query Editor to understand, it writes some script. This is called M script, M language. Is it clear? And for example, if you want to see, hey, what is this, man? Filtered rows. What this step? This is the one, right? We have in the filtered rows, yeah, we have replaced the values. Okay, 1 second. That is the one generated by Power Query Editor automatically. Look here, when I select the replace value one, here you can see that in the sales column, we have replaced the NA by 0, right? And again, if you go up here, if you click on it here, another replaced value step, in the sales column, we have replaced the dollar by empty string. It's something like in our apartment or home, we have a CCTV. When you go and take a look at the recorded videos, right, it shows frame by frame. which person came first, which person came next. Similarly, right, which step you carried out first, which step you carried out next, you can see it here. Okay, it may, but there are some steps that has been generated automatically by Power. See, for example, filtered rows, right? This has been generated automatically. So apart from, see, it's a mix of these steps are generated by both, based on the steps or action that we carried out, plus the action carried out by the Power BI Power Query Editor automatically. Okay, so it's a combination of the actions that we took, right? That also it records, and the steps carried out automatically by the Power Query also it maintained here, the filter rows. So what simple analysis like, we eat food. To digest the food, we do exercise. This step carried out by us. Rest of the things should be carried out by inner organs, right? Similarly, right, the system, whatever the action carried by system, that is also, recorded here. And whatever the steps carried by us, also recorded here. It's all recorded in the proper sequence. So then later point in time, if you want to revoke or if you want to do changes to that, you can do it. Okay. So now my data is clean, everything is clean. Now what I do is I click on the file ribbon in my Power Query Editor. I'm going to use close and apply. When you choose that option, close and apply, what happens is all the changes I made to my data set that happen only on the memory. So now all the changes, whatever I made it will, when I close and apply it, when you select that apply, right, that one will get applied to your model. So here also you can see the data type for each column. Look here, this is the category column. If you scroll down here, you can see the text data type. And if you select the sales column, look here next to the sales column, we can see the sigma notation. With that itself, we can make sure that we were able to successfully convert this sales column from text to decimal data type. You click on this here. On the right side here also, you can see that, right? The decimal places and it's a decimal number data type. All the changes you applied, all the steps that you carried out, everything got applied on the memory in the Power Query Editor. And it once you close and once you chose the close and apply, we have another option close. Guys, if you choose the close option, it will not be made permanent. Whatever changes you made it on the Power Query. In order for the changes to be made permanent in your Power Query Editor table, sorry, Power BI table, you need to choose apply. In my case, I don't need the Power Query any longer. Hence, I chose close and apply. Close the Power Query and apply the changes permanently to my Power BI table. Yes, done. Okay, now can you see the row.id here? No, right? It got removed. Because in the Power Query Editor, I removed the row.id. But if I open the Power Query Editor and if I undo that step, I will get back my row.id column. And once I close the Power Query Editor using that close and apply option, you can find the row.id column. You can get back the row.id column also here. But remember one thing, since I removed the row.id and when I closed it with the apply option, it removed the row.id in my Power BI table itself. But did my operating system file also got this row.id got deleted? No. It made that change only to my Power BI table. You might be asking this one, what do you mean by Power BI? This is nothing but my CSV file, right? I loaded here. But if you remove the columns, anything, or if you modify anything, right? If you rename the column, that will be applicable only in your Power BI desktop. Okay, that will not going to disturb your original file, the original CLs underscore w04.csv. Remember this. Is it clear? That will remain as it is. Okay. Fine. So these are the things, right? Basic thing you should be aware. Okay. And we have discussed, very basic thing in today's session. And now what I do is one second. Okay, what I will do is, right, I'm going to wrap up the session now. And first, you go and watch the videos tomorrow morning, right, by 11:30 a.m. All the videos, the so far whatever will get uploaded under your credentials. And those of you are yet to receive the credentials, right, it will be created without fail tomorrow. Look here, how do you access our, go to deep neuron, not the deep neuron. Oh yeah, you go to the deep neuron.in, and here you will find the training menu. Click on the training menu. It will take you to the training.deepneuron.in, and here you click on the login, and here it will display. Here you need to specify your username and password. So let's say this is the username given to you, and here you need to key in the password and then hit login and wait for some time, and it will take, here it will show your name and your profile, and if you scroll down here, you'll find the courses assigned to you. So this is what your current batch, right? And you will find this one. If you click on it, you will find your current batch related videos here. Okay, but what we did, we have included all these installation videos already. Okay, and again, but today's videos will get included here. Okay, and also you might be asking this question: what about the other courses? These are the previous batches, pre-recorded videos, right? So Power BI instructor-led course, and one second, and you have SSIS, the previous batch session, and PL. This is a certification dump. If you are keen on completing the certificate, you can click on it, and you can take up probably right after completion of the training program, after 70% of the course completion, right? You can go ahead and learn, practice this one also. This is SQL Server. This is a current batch. Got it? And if you want to download all the files or the recorded videos related to the installation, you can click on the March batch itself, and you can scroll down here. And sorry, you need to go to the curriculum here, and then you need to click on this one. If you click on the installation of Power BI Desktop, on the right side, we can see the video related to this installation, right? Installation. And if you scroll down a bit and you can click on this play button, right? It will take some time to play this. Let's get started. And if you click on this one, you can maximize it. And then if you press escape, I will show you how to install the SQL Server and then the in SQL Server, you can click on this thing, right? You can find the instructions in this video how to, and if you scroll down, you need to click on this play button. You can see this one. Now let's go ahead. But I would strongly recommend you to strictly follow the instructions, whatever I have given it here in this video. Okay. If you skip any one of the step, you will not be successful in installing SQL Server. But oddly, 2 or 3 people, they ended up reinstalling their operating system itself. Okay. Because they did not follow the proper order. First, you need to install SQL Server, and then only you need to install SSMS. Please remember this. Okay. And you watch these 3 videos. And as soon as your laptop is ready, you would start install these 3 softwares and start practicing it. Okay. Watch my videos and pause wherever required. It is required, and you can practice it. Okay. Including the today's topic, right? You just go and explore it. And next week onwards, we'll step up the pace, which means, right, we'll speed up a little bit because we need to cover many topics. But you have 5 days time during the weekdays, and you go ahead and start practice it, install everything and practice it. Okay, watch my videos, pause wherever it is required, and you can practice it. And if you wanted to download the data set, and look here, so somebody's asked, yeah, Kumar asked about the data set. And here, if you go back here, and if you go here, you will find the instructor-led course. Click on it here. This is my previous batch, right? And then if you scroll down here and click on the curriculum, and if you scroll down here, you can see the download resources. Click on it here. And here you will find many links for download, but I would suggest all the data sets. Click on the download button. The moment you click on it, it will download the zip file, right? So you download the zip file and store it in your folder. When you unzip it, you will find all the data files, the first half of the training program, right? You will find all the data sets, including the today's thing, right? Sales W0, everything you'll find it there. Unzip it, and then probably you can create a folder within a Power BI training course in your D drive. And then that folder, you keep this zip file, move that file, and then unzip it. You will find all the files. That's all. You're all set to start work with Power BI Desktop. That SQL and MS, we will continue in the next session, next weekend. Okay, we will see how. The meanwhile, if possible, try to manage to get some laptops. Okay, even if it is 4 GB or 8 GB RAM is really good. Okay, because you saw, right, even in my laptop it took time. 8 GB is really good. Okay, or at least if you have 4 GB, let it be there. You start manage to get some laptop. So nowadays, laptop is a bread and butter for us, right? That is very much important. Fine, guys, I'm done. You have any questions?